Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag live if you're watching live. Hashtag replay if you're on replay. So today I wanted to talk to you about a personal story about me. And in 2003, I had what I would call a tumultuous time in my life. There was a lot of chaos. There was a lot of family drama. There was a lot of anger inside of me. A lot of secondary emotion, because that anger can be, that cover up, that external, I guess, projection of being hurt. And there were a lot of things going on in my life then, and I just felt like I was just all jacked up. And working out was a release for me, but I had an incident in my job. I was working at a retail store, and a customer came in, and that customer was very upset. It was a lot of detail to the story that I'll leave out, but it ends up happening. Him and I get into an altercation. Well, this altercation led to me breaking my hand, and what happened was we got in this altercation. I threw a punch and I hit a big, thick wooden fixture. And as you can imagine, that wooden fixture won. Okay, my hand lost, and I shattered my hand. And my first reaction to this scenario was denial, because working out had become kind of my therapy. And I was like, oh man, I've lost this ability to do this. So I'm going to like pretend that this didn't happen. But when your hand, it goes to the size of a grapefruit, or maybe even a watermelon, you can no longer deny the fact that you have broken your hand. So I had two surgeries on that hand. I really messed my hand up. I was in a cast for almost 3 months, and my bicep became the size of my wrist. And there was a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of like, why on earth would you do something like this? And I remember having these thoughts of, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. And it consumed me. And I think more so in this incident than in ever in my life do I remember having such guilt and shame over. And it's not because the situation was that dramatic. Yes, I broke my hand. I did something dumb, but at 21, 22 years old, we all do dumb things. But I think it was because I knew that I was so angry at life that I knew that I messed up. And this was something that needed to happen to me in order for me to see it. And I was in denial about that. I was in denial about where I was in space and time. And yeah, the situation is kind of like, these things happen every day, but it was more about what was going on internally to me. And this reflection of this external event that happened to show me, hey, listen, dude, like, the way you're living your life right now, being mad at everything and angry, is not the way to do it. And I remember having that denial of constantly saying, well, you should have done this and you should have done that. And, my question to the listeners, the people watching this, is how many events have you had in your life where you obsess and ruminate on, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that, right? And I think when we should all over ourselves, okay, we deny our path in life, because the universe is going to present situations and people to show us where we're not free. And I was not free in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And quite frankly, I was more of a prisoner to circumstance, a prisoner to events, a prisoner to my own anger and anguish, that I wasn't even living my life because I was walking around angry. And that was on me. Immaturity, right? But like, you think back to this, it's like, why do we deny a certain path in life to ourselves when we are constantly trying to tell ourselves that this should have happened or this shouldn't have happened? But at the end of the day, You can't deny what did happen, because what happened couldn't have happened any other way, because guess what? It didn't. And the universe is always going to present us with circumstances and people, events that are going to show us where we're not free. And this event showed me in a lot of ways where I wasn't free, but I was in denial about it because I was looking through a lens of inadequacy. I was looking through a lens of judgment on myself. I was looking at a lens of insecurity. And I was denying my path in life. I was acting and operating under this assumption that something was wrong with me. And this is where my depression, I really felt, if I have to go back to an event, that this is where it was really taking hold of me. Because of the external things that were going on in my life. And I think that's a lie. In fact, I'm going to rephrase the statement. I know it's a lie. There was nothing ever wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me to this day. There's nothing wrong with you who are listening to this. But we operate under such a lens of judgment upon ourselves that we view ourselves as there's something wrong with us. But the moment that you decide that there's nothing wrong with you is the moment that you become free of all the things that you judge yourself for. Judging yourself for where you are in life, judging yourself for the choices that you make, judging yourself because someone told you that something was wrong or something's wrong with you or what you're doing is wrong. But there's nothing wrong with you. Yes, we could all make better decisions. We could all choose to do different things. We have that choice. We have that right. That's called freedom. But there's nothing wrong with us. And I want to share this message with you because so many times in conversations, myself included, as we talk about, well, we should have done this and we should have done that. You deny yourself your path in life when you're consistently shoulding, okay, on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Now, the challenge here is this. There's two. Number one, the challenge is believing that fact, that there's nothing wrong with you. That what could have happened did happen and didn't happen any other way because it can't and it didn't and it couldn't. We accept reality as it is. The second challenge is this. Being able to see it for yourself. That takes growth, it takes maturity, and sometimes it takes letting go of the past. Letting go of what you want and desire the future to be, and actually be who you are in the moment in which you are. So I challenge you that if you can't, you don't feel like you can, or you're stuck and you want to get unstuck. If you're not free, you want to get free. Message me, DM me. I understand what it's like to judge myself. I understand what it's like to be inadequate, and I understand what it's like to be insecure. And none of those things come with freedom. They come with suffering. They come with constantly second-guessing yourself at every single stage of your life. And the emotions that are associated with that, guilt, shame, anger, there's many, many more. The time is to set yourself free so that you can be you and not somebody else. Hashtag value, who found value in this video. Buff Gandhi. Woo!